Hi, and welcome to Female Entrepreneurs Magazine, your go to platform for ambitious women who are ready to take the business world by storm. I'm your host, Angel France, and each week we'll dive into the latest strategies, stories, and success secrets from the most inspiring female entrepreneurs around the world. Hi, and welcome to the Real Female Entrepreneurs. Our next guest is the founder of Sagantara Retreats at Sea. Get ready for this inspiration. It is going to be so much fun. She grew up in the tea forms of Fujian province and inspired by her global adventures as a certified yoga teacher and diving instructor, she actually blends Eastern and Western wisdom to promote holistic wellness. With a mission to harness the healing power of the ocean, she offers transformative solutions for modern nomads. Help me celebrate the visionary Haiying Xu, and her inspiring journey. Welcome, Haiying. How are you?
Thank you so much, Angel, for this intro. I'm totally blessed. Thank you for this great introduction. How are
Well,
you? I'm good. Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. You know what's
That's
exciting? I want to hear about you because I think you have a very unique story about your actually how you became a yoga instructor on what big yachts or explain because I am just blown away.
actually I didn't just decided to be a yoga teacher on a yacht. To be honest, everything happened with a very long time frame, I would say. So I started practicing yoga during COVID. That was at the end of my emotionally traumatic romantic relationship. It was at the end of it, and I found yoga to help myself heal from that trauma. It was super traumatic. And after that, I've been practicing for around 3 years in. Then I met my partner at this time. My partner now, he introduced me into yachting. And I didn't just become a yoga teacher right away at that time. I was a dive instructor when I met him. Yeah. And so I joined yachting because of him. And I tried different positions in various departments because I had no crew. It was all new to me. I was a dive instructor in a dive shop. Like I had no clue of yachting. So within 1 year, I tried different positions from stewardess, deckhand, also diving instructor, teaching diving, which was what I was already doing, but on a yacht. Then even engineer assistant. He was an engineer, so I became his assistant for a very short period of time. Then later on, I decided I wasn't too happy doing what I was doing, regardless all the positions that I've tried. It was really not my life purpose because before that, when I was in diving, it was my full passion. I didn't feel like working at all. I want to work every day very happy, even if there's any unhappiness during the work or whatever. I didn't care. It was my passion. Then in yachting, I realized, wow, yoga and diving was really my passion, but I wasn't really doing that because I was totally brand new in the industry, and it's kind of hard to just become a dive instructor on a yacht right away when you join, right? You have to accumulate different experience on the deck or in the interior, and then combine with your diving or yoga skills. Especially for yoga, it's usually combined with stewardess work. So let's say around 90% of stewardess work, 5% of yoga teaching, actually. And I actually didn't like the fact. So I decided, okay, I wanted to be just full on yoga, but I couldn't achieve that as a crew member, right? Because I had to do some steel work, usually, most of the time. And I'm like, okay, so there's no other way. Okay, the only way is to be an entrepreneur. I'm like, okay, let me think about it. So I use my yoga practice that I do every day, and I tap into myself. I'm like, okay, I think that's the right direction. So I already decided one day I'm just gonna full on do my yoga business by myself. And to be able to combine with yachts is fully because my previous experience working as in different positions on the yachts. Thanks to my partner, right, who introduced me into the industry. So I, pull all the lines, and then I'm like, okay, yoga, yachting, experience, everything. I'm like, okay, I think that's it. Yoga on the yacht. And I'm like, okay, yoga on the yacht, but it's so broad as well. Who do I want to really niche down? And I would be thinking about the niche was because I was studying, also watching a lot of YouTube videos, studying different kinds of business courses about branding and niche and everything. So then I realized I need to niche down instead of yoga for everyone, because you end up serving nobody when you are trying to serve everybody, right? It's just too broad. You are not specific enough. Like if you go to a general doctor, you can not really cure a specific disease that you have. You have to go to, for example, an eye doctor after the general doctor, and then you cure your eye disease, for example. So it's very similar for me. So I decided niche down because my boyfriend, my partner, he is a chief engineer on a super yacht. We actually used to work together on the same boat. And I'm like, he's my closest person in my life right now. He's a head of department. And then we usually hang out with other heads of department and other captains as well, quite a lot because of his position. So I'm like, okay, that's it. I'm just gonna focus on people like him on the management level on a super yacht, because I will know what they are thinking, right? And I have contact with them. And I have some friends who are also heads of department and captains, right? So that's the first category. And then the second category is the owners and the guests. I'm like, I will have two different offerings for these two category of people. That's why onboard retreats for owners and guests, it's more like more personalized, more intimate, because it's onboard. I will personally teach them. Um, I mean, face to face, give them another intimate experience more than the online retreats for the heads of departments and the captains. That's how all these ideas came together. Yeah.
And I love how it like all came together because, sometimes when people are trying to niche down, they don't think, okay, who am I surrounded with? Who am I networking with that I can, share this experience with and that would want to buy it? That's the
Oh,
kicker.
yep. Totally agree. Yeah.
Yeah. I love the fact that you went to the captains, the chief engineers, and all of them, and you started a yoga program from them. They also are the connections for the guests to say, oh, I have the perfect girl to come in and do yoga for you guys.
Yeah, exactly. That's why in the beginning, when I'm at the this next quarter, I'm focusing on the marketing, especially marketing on the captains and the heads of departments for the online retreats, so that yeah, it also will smooth transit to the owners and guests in the future. Hopefully, not too far away. But yeah, that's exactly like what you said.
Yeah, and so here's the thing, you're getting them hooked on your program, and so it's just word of mouth for them, and so if anybody could even think about what you did, and if they could have the fathom, okay, who can, who's got the word of mouth for me? Who is the one who's gonna network for me is the key. That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, totally. In this yachting industry, word of mouth is really, really important. Otherwise, people will not know who you are. They wouldn't care too much, right? Yeah, it's a very small industry, very intimate, very small. Although different boats travel around the world, but you see each other again in a different country very soon. Sometimes depends on the itinerary of the boat. So it's a very tiny group industry.
So okay, so you're traveling around the world, okay? You have a partner, he's traveling around the world, he's an engineer on a boat. Um, how do you balance that? And plus you're in different time zones all the time. And how do you balance that in your life? Or do you?
Yeah, very good question. So I didn't in the beginning. For the first year, which was last year when I was first trying to set up the business, I didn't balance at all. So what we did was that we agreed I was just gonna focusing on set up my own business and further my yoga teacher training. So I went back to the States in Florida and I did 3 months further training for yoga. After that, I was fully on focus on establishing my website, my branding, everything, all of that, brochure, name card, everything, all the marketing materials. And I didn't see my partner for a whole half a year.
Wow.
Until around June last year, I decided to take a break. So at that time I already had quite some progress. I was very pleased on what I have achieved at my own pace. So I'm like, okay, time to take a break. I took a 1 month break to Europe, and I realized I had a lot of old friends in Europe. So I went to visit them. After 1 month, my partner came back to Florida, and we were together at home for less than a month. After that, I went full on again for like almost 5 months. I wasn't really seeing too many people. I was just, in the house every day and night, studying and doing at the very same time, because everything was totally new for me. I've never done any of this, like anything about business, anything about, anything that I was doing was totally new. So I had to put extra time in learning and doing. So no balance in the very first year, I would say. Then after around 1 year, last year, October 10th-ish, I launched my website finally, and I, told everybody in the industry that, okay, my business is open to the public, and if, you have anyone who's interested, please contact me and everything. From that moment on, I became a little bit more relaxed, and I'm like, okay, now what? And I started to hang out more with friends and everything. I'm like, okay, I think it's time to reconnect from the real world, right? I was very disconnected, full on, highly focused in the first almost a year. Then now, I came to Thailand to visit my partner, and I decided to spend more time with friends, with my partner, and then maybe in the far close future, I'm gonna spend more time with my family because I haven't seen them for a very long time already. So I start to shift my focus to be more balanced in also business, also family, friends, and partner. Starting this year, I would say, or like a couple months ago.
That is awesome. And I know we talked a minute ago and you said one of the things you have to do, because right now it's like probably close to 1 o'clock where you at in the AM. Am I right?
Literally 1 o'clock, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay. Mm.
yeah, so it's noon where I am. Okay.
Mhm. Yeah.
So I mean, you told me that you have to set alarm after alarm because I mean your business is internationally and global. So
Yeah.
with that, you're always in different time zones. So
Totally.
yeah,
Yeah.
so what is your best way to handle that? Because some people even have time zone challenges going from Eastern to Central, not
Mm.
even going the distance. What time zone are you in right now?
I'm in Bangkok time in Thailand.
Okay, so you're in Bangkok time, going from Bangkok all the way to, Eastern Standard Time. Some people can't even fathom that.
Yeah. So my way of handling this in daily life and business is by putting everything that I have to do in my calendar, Google Calendar.
Mhm.
I have two different calendars, one for personal, one for business. And then I set 1 or 2 days, or sometimes even 7 days ahead of reminder. Depends on how important things are. Excuse me. And so if it's really important, I have to prepare for quite some time. I will set, let's say, 7 days ahead of reminder. So I have 1 week to prepare. Then if it's not so important or less time to prepare, I set 1 or 2 days in my calendar for reminder. Then when my reminder came in my calendar, I go to my phone and I set my alarm, many alarms. For example, for this interview, I put in my Google Calendar, right? And I set 2 or 3 days a reminder. Then like 2-3 days ago, I already set my alarm. Okay, what time? For example, in the morning, 9 a.m., prepare for the interview. And then today, when it's closer to this interview, because tonight we went out for dinner with our captain, my previous captain and his current captain, to the beach, and then play pool and stuff. So I'm like, okay, I have to be back early. So around 8:30 p.m. I have an alarm to come back home to just settle down, get into the right atmosphere, breathe, meditate a little bit, have my tea, and then, read your questions and just think through and then, meditate for a bit. That's how I usually manage my time. A lot of alarms and my calendar.
I love that. That is, hey, that's how I function. Not as much as the alarms going off, but that calendar, that Google Calendar, I couldn't function without it.
Oh, yeah, the same. Yeah.
Yeah. So what advice do you have for women who are just starting to think about building a business? You just went through that. So
Yeah.
what advice do you have for them?
I would think, I forgot her name, but one day not long ago, I was studying a business class, I think a few months ago, and she said, do it anyway, do it scared, do it anyway. I think you probably heard of that, and it's under the masterminds from Dean's team, I think. And I just love it. And she's also a woman, and she's well established. And so that would be the advice I would give to a new woman entrepreneur as well. Do it anyway, do it scared, and just know that, whatever you're feeling right now is completely normal and natural. And all the other new entrepreneurs are feeling that. Like me a year ago, like me now, I'm still, I was like sometimes still lost. I'm like, should I do this? Should I do that? I'm just like constantly in this crossroad. So do it anyway and be courageous, I would say. Otherwise, you probably will regret it in the future. It's better to say, okay, I probably could have done it in another way, do it better, than say, oh, I wish I have done it. Well, I wish I've tried it and leave a lifelong regret, right?
Mm-hmm.
So leave no regrets. Just do it anyway. Even if it's not the result you want, in the end, you will learn so much during the process, and that's invaluable, I found.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I mean, I've seen people start more than one business and they just didn't find their niche yet. You had done that by taking on positions inside of the industry, which found your niche, which was amazing. I love
I
that.
think yoga helped me a lot with that. Without yoga, without meditation, I wouldn't niche down so quickly. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Knowing what you've learned so far in business and meditation and yoga, because that has helped, what advice would you go back and tell your 18-year-old self?
18-year-old self. I think just be curious all the time, keep studying, never stop, and be courageous. And don't be afraid to try and fail, because there's literally no fail. It's try and learn always. I would think. So I would tell myself, younger self, to keep that in mind. Just keep trying, keep learning, and never stop.
That is actually every entrepreneur's stepping stone and motto. It should be just keep going, keep
Yep.
going, try something else, just keep going, just don't
And
stop.
adjust yourself along the way.
Yeah, I call it the dance.
Yeah, that's a good analogy. Yeah, I love it. The dance.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Can you share any other future plans that you may have or goals that you see in the future
Yeah,
beyond what
absolutely.
you've already started?
Absolutely. Actually, just a few days ago, when I was spending New Year with our friends elsewhere, not so far away, one of my Chinese friends who I met 7 years ago in Phuket, where I am right now, she's Chinese, and she called me one night, and she's like, "Oh, I think I have a very great idea for you. And then she started talking, and then we talked for more than an hour. And I was like, wow, that's a very good advice. And actually, what she told me was nothing new. I already thought that before, but I never thought about putting it backwards. Because in the beginning, I was focusing on setting up my yoga business abroad, outside of China first, which is targeting on the Western market. But then after the call, I rethink and meditate on it. And I was like, wow, yeah, I should focus on the domestic market in China, which is a different direction.
Right.
And that's probably what I will do in the next few years as well, to set up a crew training and crew recruitment agency for Chinese people who wanted to join the yachting industry, because there's literally a huge gap between Chinese and the yachting industry.
Mhm.
Yeah, judging from my own experience and also my chat with other captains and my partner himself and other people in the industry, I think it will be a big hit.
It sounds like it. That sounds
Yeah,
like amazing.
there's not many Chinese in the yachting industry.
Wow.
I mean, I probably shouldn't have said that out loud, but yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's what's in my head these days.
Oh,
Thanks to my Chinese friend who called me that day and make me rethink everything.
that's great. That's what friends are for.
Oh yeah,
Especially the ones that are there to like push you forward to the next level.
yeah, I'm super grateful for that. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you had a superpower for just one day, 24 hours, what would it be?
I wanted to experience how a spirit or a pure consciousness experience. Because I mean, when I'm practicing yoga, meditation, a lot of the time we're talking about consciousness and everything, right? But truly, we are still sometimes attached to this physical body and this physical, element of this world. So I'm very curious, what does it really feel as a pure consciousness? What does it feel at all? And probably it will not see anything, have no response to the lights or whatsoever, no emotions. I don't know. So I would love to experience that, and just out of curiosity.
Okay, that sounds cool. Actually,
Maybe a little bit crazy, I don't know.
no, I think it's cool. All right, what's one fact about you that not a lot of people know?
So I'm actually an orphan by law in China. It's very weird, right? So I was born during the one-child policy in China in
Oh.
1993. And so my parents has to put my name under my grandparents from my dad's side. And both my grandparents passed away already. So right now I'm alone. In my family book, there's nobody, just me. That's really funny. Yeah.
Yeah, so I have a few friends who have actually adopted children because of that law.
Oh, really? That's
And
amazing.
they live here in the United States, the children, and yeah,
That's amazing. I mean, they're very lucky, I would say. But
yeah.
still, my parents were amazing, and I love them a lot. And they did what they could, because otherwise they actually paid for the fine to the government, but still they couldn't put me under their family book. So yeah, that's sad.
Oh, that is.
Yeah.
Wow.
But
You
yeah,
know
right.
where you belong now. You know where you belong.
Yeah.
That's a cool thing. All right, book. What is your favorite book?
So I was thinking earlier, I was like, I don't have a favorite book, but there were a few books that actually influenced me a lot. So there's two books from Esther Perel, one called The State of Affairs, and another one is called, what's it called again? I have my notes, one sec. So it's called Mating in Captivity. Both are by Esther Perel, and she's a relationship psychologist. Her book helped me get through, together with yoga, of course, helped me get through of the traumatic relationship a few years ago. Yeah, that's when I first entered yoga, first get into relationship psychology as well. And I was like, wow, I realized I wasn't crazy. And I'm like, wow, okay, that's really opening my mind. And there's another book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. I literally found his book right amount maybe 1 year after the other two books, and I realized, wow, that's really eye-opening as well, and it shifted my mindset about money, about wealth, and everything.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He's amazing. He really is amazing.
Yeah. So I love these three books a lot.
Yep. Song. What is a favorite song you have, or songs?
Yeah, so there were a few as well. It might sound a little bit sexual, or I don't know,
Okay.
or weird, but I really love Al Green and Marvin Gaye. So from Al Green, there are two songs of his I love the most, which are "Tired of Being Alone" and "Love and Happiness." By Marvin Gaye, my favorite song is "Sexual Healing." I mean, I just love the rhythm of the song, and yeah, it's very meditative for me as well. So when I'm like on the road trip, I put these songs and I'm like, wow, I'm in a different state of mind. Not sexually, but
I get it. I get
very
it.
meditative, yeah.
I love the songs too. It's all great.
I especially love a remix of Sexual Healing. There's a remix on YouTube. I forgot the name of the person who remixed it. It was so good. It was wonderful. I just love it.
Awesome. I'll have to look it up. All right. What about quote? Do you have a quote?
So yeah, interestingly, it will be from Bob Marley's song "No Woman, No Cry." He sang, "Everything will be all right."
Mm-hmm.
So I love this quote. A few years ago, when I was going through a very difficult life period, at work, relationship, and everything, challenges, and I love it because it's just so easy and nothing fancy. Everything will be all right, and it is. Everything will finally be all right, no matter what. Maybe you went through something that's bad or good, but everything will be all right. You will be still alive. If you are fortunate. And I even had it carved in one of my coffee cups before.
Oh,
I still have it. It's in Florida, the cup. I have it many years, like 4 or 5 years already.
wow. All right.
Yeah.
What is the best way to connect with you in your business?
So the best way will be through my website. So through my website, you have all my contact information, my email. You can also live chat with me on the bottom right corner. And yeah, you can also find my community on my website. There's a link directly through that. So yeah, my website, sagantara.com would be the best.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. What else would you like to share with our audience?
What else? No, I think you've asked everything. I would say very, very thorough. I think that will be all. Yeah.
That is that you've been very intriguing. I have loved this conversation. You have opened up my eyes to things. I was like, oh my God, things have happened and of situations, but to meet somebody who's actually gone through them and actually understands what it is to be the yoga instructor that you are today and the niche down in that industry. Oh my God, blown away.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, I love your energy. You are very uplifting from the moment before this recording, from the moment when we started talking, I feel your energy. I love it.
Well, thank you for being on. You're precious. I can't wait to see you in the magazine. It's going to be fun.
Thank you so much for this opportunity, Andrew. I wish you all the best and Happy New Year.
Oh, Happy New Year. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Female Entrepreneurs Magazine. I hope you found inspiration, actionable tips, and a sense of connection with our incredible community of driven women. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, leave a review, and share the episode with fellow entrepreneurs who are ready to elevate their game. Remember, your success is just the beginning, and we're here to support you in every step of the way. Until next time, keep shining, keep thriving, and remember, You have the power to create the business and life of your dreams. Stay inspired, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.